Hello everyone, welcome to Learning Online with Prepclass. I am Tutor Chima. Now in today's section, we are going to be looking at Jamb biology for the year 2015. And this means we are going to be solving past questions on Jamb biology for the year 2015. And we are going to be looking at questions number 31 to 35. This is so because in the previous video, we looked at question 26 to 30. So today we will continue the section by looking at questions number 31 to 35. If you've not seen the previous video, I tell you are really missing. Browse through our channel. We have loads of educational content which you are going to find very interesting, engaging, and educating. So I promise that as you follow us through this section, you will not regret this. So before we proceed with today's section, students, please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos. You look below there, you see a notification bell. Click and activate the notification bell. Once the notification bell is activated, you will be the first to be notified whenever we have or post an educational content like this on our channel. Feel free to share our videos, like, and comment. All right. So without wasting your time, let us go straight to the business of today, which is to solve Jamb biology, to destroy Jamb biology. Past questions for the year 2015, like I said, we'll be looking at question 31 all through to question 35. 31 says, which of the following factors can bring about competition in a population? Which of the following factors can bring about, that can cause competition in a population? Is it emigration? Is it drought? Is it mortality? Is it dispersion? Now, we are going to look at each of these entities one after the other. Then it will now give us the idea of which particular one can bring about competition. You know, competition is a process whereby living organisms struggle for what materials that are in limited supply in their environment. Materials like food, shelter, water, and living space. So which of all these stuffs mentioned will cause living organisms to compete in a given population? Emigration. This is the movement of members of a population away from its habitat to various other areas as a direct response to lack of food or living space. So emigration will not cause them to compete. Even emigration will even reduce the population. So we even reduce the competition rather. Emigration will reduce the competition because once some organisms, let's say in a population of buffalo, let's say about 50% has migrated, of course it's going to reduce the competition for the remaining 50% for the available what food, space, and what grasses for them to enjoy, to flex on. Now let's look at drought. Will drought bring about competition? A drought is a period of time when an area or region experiences below normal precipitation. The lack of adequate precipitation, either rain or snow, can cause reduced soil moisture or groundwater, diminished stream flow, crop damage, and a general water wastage. Now, drought simply tells us when there is low amount of moisture or water in an environment. And you know, take for example, in the savannah, where there is low amount of water in the river, what do you think will happen in that area? Let's say in a river where we have hippopotamus, a population of hippopotamus dwelling, and before you know, maybe during the period of harmattan, which is drought, there's now a drop in the water level of the river. The numerous hippopotamus will continue to fight for that limited water space in their environment, which simply means that they'll continue to compete for that limited water which is in their environment. That simply means that drought can bring about competition. Also in an area whereby, let's use plants for example. Let's say in an area, let's say during the dry season, what do you think will happen? Those plants that are better adapted to drier soil will be able to survive. Those other ones that cannot adapt to drier soil will wilt and die away. You see, so competition, drought will definitely bring about what competition in between population of what organism. Mortality. Mortality rate or death rate is a measure of the number of deaths in a particular population, scaled to the size of that population per unit time. Death will not bring about competition, rather, it will even reduce the competition. Because when some organisms die, then the remaining ones that are alive have some more things to flex and live on. Dispersion. Dispersion is the spreading of a population or organism away from its parent, and happens where organisms are looking for additional resources or as an adaptation to environmental changes. Of course, the dispersion will not bring about competition because the organisms are now taken away from their parents, away from the competition. So there will be little competition. So we see that from the definition of each of those terms that drought, which is lack of water, will bring about competition in a population. So because of that, the best choice for this question is option B, which is what? Drought. I believe you understand how I analyze this till we got to the what answer. All right. 32. Stunted growth and poor root development are a result of a deficiency in stunted growth and poor root development as a result of a deficiency in, is it phosphorus, is it calcium, is it sulfur, is it iron? Phosphorus. Now let us look at each of these nutrients and what they benefit to plants. Phosphorus. Deficiency result to poor weedy growth. Stems and leaves become purplish, mottling of lower leaves. Calcium. Deficiency of calcium result to weak, stunted roots and poor root development. Sulfur. Deficiency result to yellowing of the leaves. Stems become slender. Iron. Deficiency result to poor growth and yellowing of the leaves. They ask us stunted growth and poor root development are a result of poor root development. You can see the answer is calcium. Deficiency result towards stunted growth and poor root development. So because of that, the correct answer to this question is calcium. All right. Now, they've given us an instruction. They say use the diagram to answer questions 33 and 34. 33 and 34. The cell organelle solely responsible for respiration is, the cell organelle solely responsible for respiration is, so they're asking us, is it the nucleus, is it the nucleolus, is it the endoplasmic reticulum, is it the mitochondria? The answer is mitochondria. Now the mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of a cell. Why? This is because the mitochondria is responsible for cellular respiration, where it produces energy in the form of ATP that the cell needs to perform all life functions or metabolic reactions. Now, respiration is a process whereby living organisms break down glucose or minerals, break down glucose or other nutrients. Okay, it's a process where a living organism break down glucose and convert them towards ATP. That's respiration. It's not breathing in and breathing out. No, the process whereby living organisms break down glucose and convert it to energy. Now, the energy is in the form of ATP, and it can be in the presence or absence of oxygen. When this breakdown of glucose to ATP takes place in the absence of oxygen, it's called anaerobic respiration. When it takes place in the presence of oxygen, it's called cellular respiration, tissue respiration, or aerobic respiration. Now, this cellular respiration, whereby it is a complete oxidation of glucose to ATP, takes place in the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is responsible for providing energy for the whole cell in the form of cellular respiration. And this energy is in the form of ATP. So that's why the mitochondria is called the powerhouse of the cell. So the organelle responsible for cellular respiration is the mitochondria. Option D. All right. 34. The organelle responsible for heredity is, the organelle responsible for heredity is it option, is it A, which is 4? Is it option B, 1? Is it C? Is it that's the part label 2, or is it D, the part label 3? Now we need to label this 4 so that we know which is which. Now the part label 1 is the cell wall. The part label 2 is the nuclear wall. This is the nucleus. This one is the nucleus. 1, 2, 3 are the nucleus together. So the part label 1 is the nuclear wall. The part label 2 is the chromatin granules, and the part label 4, that is the nucleolus. Now, the chromatin granules contain the nucleic acid, DNA, and RNA. Chromatin granules simply means chromosome. During cell division, do you understand? All those spindle fiber formation, this chromatin granule are developed towards chromosomes. Now, the chromatin granules or chromosome contain the nucleic acids, DNA, and RNA. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA, ribonucleic acid, and they are the units of heredity. Therefore, the correct answer is the part label 3 chromatin granule. So the part label 3, which is the chromatin granule, is responsible for heredity because it contains DNA and RNA, which are units of heredity. So the correct answer to this question is option D, which is 3. Let's look at 35. It says use the diagram to answer questions 35 and 36, but we'll be using it to answer only question 35 for today. The process illustrated is it gametogenesis? Is it sexual reproduction in rhizopus? Is it sexual reproduction in Spirogyra? Is it sporulation? Okay, they're asking us what is this. Now this is sexual reproduction in rhizopus. Now rhizopus species grow as filamentous branching hyphae. Rhizopus are actually fungi. Rhizopus species grow as filamentous branching hyphae that generally lack cross walls. They reproduce by forming asexual and sexual spores. In sexual reproduction, a dark zygospore, which is this, is produced at the point where two compatible mycelia fuse. Therefore, the answer is sexual reproduction in rhizopus. So this shows sexual reproduction in rhizopus. So the correct answer is option B, sexual reproduction in rhizopus. Alright guys, we've come to the end of today's section of Learning with Prep Class. We'll look at past questions on Jamb Biology 2015. We solved 31 to 35. I believe you enjoyed this section. I believe you learned one or two things. I believe it was educative and engaging. If you look below here, you will notice we've dropped a link for you, bit.ly/PrepclassWhatsApp. Want to type this link on your browser and load it. When you do so, it will take you straight to our WhatsApp group. When you join us on our WhatsApp group, you'll be getting updates, you'll be getting infos on the latest content we have on our channel. I hope you see the next video. I remain Stochima. Bye.